Court does call the case of People versus Jeffrey Hugan.
Ready, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Chris Brown on behalf of Mr. Hugan. Mr. Hugan, please state your name for the record.
Jeffrey Christopher Hugan.
All right, very good. All right.
Your Honor, it's a date and time set for sentencing. I do have the pre-sentence report. I've reviewed it with my client. There are no additions, deletions, or corrections. When it pleases the court, I'd like to allocute. If I may, Your Honor, my client's 31 years of age. He's employed with the trucking company Swint Logistics. He does have an extensive criminal history. Quite frankly, that did surprise me. He disclosed that to me when I first met him. When I pulled his history, I saw his background, but he presents very well. He's articulate, he's educated, and as with most cases, there's usually an underlying issues. This case is no different. He relapsed on prescription pills. He's been struggling with that for years. What he has done, Your Honor, since this case, the last 8 months on his own, he's been in therapy, treatment, he's clean. I think those are all good things. He did express remorse in his statement to the court, actually in the PSI. I do believe he's contrite. I believe the recommendation is fair, Your Honor. I do think he needs continued treatment, NA, and I do believe a suspended jail sentence would keep him, how can I say, motivated to maintain sobriety. And Your Honor, it's not lost upon me. When I see that history, I scratch my head. It's quite a few convictions there. And before I practiced law, I spent 7 years as a police officer. Okay, so when I see something like that, it does raise some raises my eyebrows as well. But I do believe he's on the right track. He's treating last 8 months, even before the case came up. He's trying to get help. He's doing well. That being said, Your Honor, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Sir, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to apologize to the court. I'd like to apologize to my family. And you won't see me again, Your Honor. Opportunity of probation. I will complete that probation, Your Honor, and you will never see me again, Your Honor.
I don't mind seeing people, not like this, though.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. He did post a bond in this case.
Your Honor, yes, he did. He did indicate that is actually posted by his father. However, I do see it listed in his name.
His name. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Sentence of the court on count one, the false pretenses. It's the sentence of the court, 18 months probation. You're to pay $555 fines and court costs, $540 probation oversight fee. Now, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I have a full-time job. I will work with Miss P and get that taken care of.
Okay. Because typically, even though the bond's in your name, and so
I think his father's, sure, the same name. Are you a junior?
No, we just have the same name, different middle names.
Oh, I guess they have the same name.
Pardon?
Him and his father had the same name. So did you post or he posted the
He
bond?
posted. I mean,
Oh, his father posted. I guess they had the same name. Different middle names. That makes sense?
Different middle names?
Yes.
Yes. Filled out, so it's posted.
Oh, okay. That's filled out in third party.
Correct.
Okay. So the forms that are filled out, so that you know, doesn't indicate that it's posted by a third party. So it indicates that it's your money that's been posted.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
So we would normally take that bond to pay the fines and costs. Are you going to be able to make a payment arrangement with your dad, or is he going to be like me?
No, he's definitely expecting it back. I didn't know. I tried to explain that from the jump that we have the same name and that it's not in my name.
Yeah, and see, the receipt doesn't indicate that it's posted in a third name or that it's a third party. And you said there's a different middle name.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Yours is,
Christopher.
yeah, and that's, the receipt indicates that. Everything indicates Christopher. Well, you're probably gonna have to work something out with your dad. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
So those fines and costs, they will be taken from the bond. There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as directed by probation. You're to continue your current outpatient treatment through Ural Hill with status reports to probation. You're to attend one AA/NA meetings per week with monthly verification to probation. You're to complete 50 hours of community service. No going to Bell Tire locations, any Bell Tire locations in the state of Michigan. I'll order 365 days in jail. Credit to served, balance suspended. On the count two false pretenses, 18 months probation, $555 fines and court costs. I don't think we're going to be able to cover everything. We'll take the bond. Any balance will be due within the next 60 days. Will comply with all terms as set forth in count one. I'll order 365 days jail. Credit one, balance suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case. People versus Stephen Burnell. Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Drukas on behalf of the defendant.
Here, or is this like every other day with you?
He had just got out of NBOC and he was supposed to come here today because this was resolving all his cases here. The number I have is not working. I did message it, but
He just got released to MDS.
just got released. This is he has the credit, so
Yeah, I mean,
it's simple showing up, and I'm going to work to try and get him in.
it'll indicate that he had failed to appear, but I'll adjourn it out rather than make sure Ben for him.
Thank you.
Don't ever say I didn't do anything.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, April 9th, 2025.
Have a great day.
Court calls the case People versus Devia Ben.
Ready, Your Honor. Your Honor, Charlotte Steffen on behalf of Ms. Benton.
All right, your name?
Adivia Benton.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did review the pre-sentence report with my client, and I have one addition to the report, Your Honor. Look at on the second page under the alcohol and other drug use history section. In the third line, it states she does not report why she left and drove away from the gathering, but that her sister called police to report she was driving. The time Ms. Benton had her PSI interview, she was on a short break at work and didn't have the time really to go into those circumstances behind this DUI with the probation agent. I think it's really important because what I learned in this case is that Ms. Benton had thought she was in for the night and unfortunately was the victim of a domestic violence. She called the police. That man was arrested. Ms. Benton's sister then was upset with Ms. Benton for calling the police, her significant other. And so Ms. Benton then made a bad choice, put her kids in the car and left to avoid a situation with her sister. In hindsight, she knows she should have just called the police to help the situation with the sister. I think those are important facts for Your Honor to know about. So I'll leave it at that.
Now, was the other individual, was he charged with DV or what happened with that? He was? No, hold on, Ms. Valera.
Yes, Your Honor. He does have a case before this court.
Do Not that I don't believe what you said at all, but do the offense dates match up?
I can verify that.
That's going to have a significant impact on my.
Your Honor, Conrad Siller for Pittsfield. I do
Yes,
recall
sir.
this case, and Mr. Fridge was charged in this incident. It is the same offense date.
Oh, it's Mr. Fridge?
Yes, Mr. Fridge.
Okay.
So
I
this,
can't remember whether it was Charles or William. But I think it was William.
And you were seeing him today as well. I'm sorry, on Monday.
On Monday. So just so that I'm clear on this, believes she's in for the night. Something happens. In essence, she gets into her vehicle with her kids because she's fleeing a domestic violence.
well, the domestic violence, the male was arrested. But the sister then is angry with Miss Benton for involving the police. So the sister essentially is initiating another domestic violence. So.
Well,
That
I
helps.
just want to, I'm trying to be clear on this myself because it's not in here.
Right.
She believes she's in for that night that this arrest occurs on the drunk drive. A domestic happens or something. She then flees that domestic.
Well, the
Right,
original
Martha?
domestic, I wouldn't say it's accurate to say she fled it because the police arrested him.
They
So,
arrested him.
yes.
Where was she at the time that happened?
I was there present at the time when he got arrested.
You were there at the time?
He got arrested, yes.
Okay, so then I guess what I'm unclear about is then you left. Why'd you leave?
I was just leaving because it was a lot going on at night. Like it was kind of like a conflict at night after that. So I just, decided to go.
Oh, and
The
then
scenery.
you decided to leave.
Yeah, after all, yeah.
And then when you left, your sister was upset because you had called the police.
Yeah, before I left out, me and her kind of had like a few words and kind of got into an argument and altercation. And in the midst of me leaving, and that's what led on to
Got
the
it.
driving situation.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Whose house was this you were leaving?
Charles, Fridge,
The gentleman who had just been arrested.
yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Because other than this particular incident, Ms. Benton has a very clean history. She's 28 years old. She's never had any previous arrests or negative activity with law enforcement. As you see from the report, she's had a tremendous amount of responsibility from a young age. She became a mother at the age of 16 and has accepted that responsibility and now is a mother to 3 beautiful children. And as you can see, one of them's just a baby. And Ms. Benton is somebody who, instead of, looking at it from a victim type mentality, because she is the sole caretaker for all 3 of the children, it's just something that adds to her motivation. And so in the time that I've known her, that she's had this case, she's gone and gotten the best job that she's ever had. She's a caregiver at a senior facility, which I think will probably open great doors for her. She has a driver's license, she has a car, she has temporary residence, so she's saving money so that she can get her own place. And she has ambitions for future education and career. So she's done excellently while on bond. She's been on the sober link. She's never had any positive tests for alcohol. So I don't think that she's somebody who needs probation supervision. I think she's somebody who is extremely motivated for the benefit of her children and the benefit of herself. And because of those reasons, Judge, I'm respectfully asking that you waive the fines and costs in this case and remove the sober link that I think she's had for approximately 7 months and not require any probation supervision. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say before I impose that?
Yes, I am aware that my actions, no matter how everything turned out that night, led me here today. I am thankful to say, like, this been a experience for me, a hard experience, but I'm sorry, but I'm good, you know. I learned from this and I just don't want to do this again. And I hope and pray that I get through this faster than I expect because it's been a long journey of going through my own situation and trying to be a mother of 3 kids. I'm not no criminal. I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to say that I own up to that. I take accountability. I'm just ready to get through this and prove that I'm better than what it looks like right now, you know, because I have kids on the line that look up to me and I'm all they got. So if that means anything, I mean, you know, that's all I can really say, that I'm doing it for them and me because this made me look so crazy and I don't like that. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time and I made the wrong decisions, which I'm aware of. And I'm looking forward to being a better person than I was that day. And that's all I have to say right now.
So you're just a little crazy, not a lot crazy. So
So I'm overwhelmed.
I'm kidding.
I'm overwhelmed though.
The court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, it does believe there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment that does identify the benefit of outpatient treatment and abstinence from intoxicants. Therefore, the court is going to follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. So therefore, the sentence of the court, I'm going to place you on probation for a period of 12 months. I'm going to order fines and costs in the amount of $555 fines and costs. I'm cutting that in part based upon what was just explained to the court. I'm shaving some of that off. $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 probation agency recovery costs, $360 probation oversight fees. Ma'am, when do you think you can get that paid?
So you said how much for the fees of today? What was that? I'm sorry.
The fines and costs are $555 instead of $8.
Can I start a payment plan as well? And I could pay
See a
put
pattern.
$100 on it now.
You pay $100
Yeah, I could pay it
See a
today.
pattern.
I'll leave it out.
$100 today, and then arrange a payment plan with probation and stick to it, okay?
Mhm.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the CCOP program or comparable program. You're to provide proof of victims' impact panel attendance to probation. I get the fact, and counsel's correct, that she did not have any positive tests, but there were tests that she was missing while on the sober link. Okay.
I think only 2 during that duration. And the reason that, thanks for reminding me, Your Honor, those were the evening ones, the after 9 p.m. And she was fast asleep. And I know Your Honor doesn't have proof of that, but that.
So she has 3 kids and she was asleep by 9? Really? I don't believe that.
No.
I don't believe that.
I promise because my kids go to school. So at the time,
Okay, I was saying that jokingly.
oh, okay.
All
I
right.
was explaining it, but yeah, I did
I
those off.
have
I did.
raised kids. I'm surprised you made it to 9. All right.
I tried doing this. I had no choice.
What I will do is I will continue the sober link, but only for an additional 15 days, the other 4 days in jail.
Thank you, Judge.
I'll order 93 days in jail, credit 1 day, the balance is suspended.
We appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Nicholas Chalmers.
Good morning. This is the public defender for Mr. Chalmers. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Perrine. Long time no see.
It has been a while.
I know. Kind of pleasant. Go ahead. That all
didn't
ends
want me
today.
here last week. I was hoping Mr. Chalmers was on Zoom.
I am, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's.
Awesome.
State your name, sir.
Nicholas Chalmers.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I did provide the pre-sentence report to Mr. Chalmers. I don't believe there are any changes, additions, or deletions. I did also provide him with the sentence recommendation. I believe it's fair and ask the court adopt it.
All right. Sir, is there anything you want to say before I do impose sentence?
I just want to say, Your Honor, I made a bad decision at the wrong time, and it won't happen again, honestly. I'm moving on with my life and taking care of my son, trying to work and do what I have to do to become a better person. That's all I have to say, Your Honor.
All right. Sentence of the court, I'm going to place you on probation for a period of 9 months. You're to pay $555 fines and court costs, $270 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid?
I would like to start a payment plan, but I can pay close to $200 today, Your Honor.
Oh, we're improving. It's up to 200 today. All right, 200 today, and then a payment plan as arranged by probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a theft class. You're to do that within the next 60 days. You're to complete 25 hours of community service as directed by probation. You're to begin and maintain employment with proof to probation. I'll order 93 days in jail. Credit 3. The balance is suspended.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Court does call the case. People versus Anthony Ely.
This is a public defender, Natalie Ely, who should be present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Anthony Ely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's date time set for sentencing. We have had the opportunity to review the PSIR and have no material changes or corrections, and we would respectfully request that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
Sir, is there anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Just that I take responsibility for what happened, and since it was a little over 4 years ago, I've made a lot of positive changes and to maintain my integrity, and I tend to do so.
All right. The sentence of the court, you're to pay $480 fines and costs, $327.47 restitution to target payable through the court. When can that be paid?
I can do 200 today and 200 a month.
All right. The 200 today has to go toward restitution, so you'll need to pay that in cash to the court.
Okay.
All right. So I'll just indicate $200 today. And then you're saying $200 per month?
Yes, sir.
$200
If I can do sooner, I will. But that's
all right. And then I'll indicate $200 per month. I'll order 93 days in jail. That is suspended. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus William Kendrick.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie on behalf of Mr. Kendrick, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
William Kendrick. William Kendrick.
Your Honor, I'm respectfully ultimately asking the court to adopt probation's recommendation. Mr. Kent, but I am respectfully requesting the court not to implement the $75 re-referral fee. Mr. Kendrick was inpatient at home with provision up until this past Monday when he was successfully completed his discharge. I just received the documentation for that yesterday and did then send that along to Ms. Polera. So I would be asking that the court do adjourn the sentencing and consider not implementing that re-referral fee.
And Teresa Claire, on behalf of probation, Your Honor, I just want to confirm that I did get the assessment from Home and New Vision. So I would not be opposed to the court doing that since he was inpatient and did not complete the alcohol assessment. I will review Vision did provide with a treatment plan to provide the court with an updated recommendation at the.
So do you want me to refer him to?
I don't think it's necessary.
Gotcha.
I think that what I have, I think is sufficient.
All right. So what I'll do is I will adjourn the sentencing then in this matter to April 9th, 2026, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kendrick. We'll be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Dwayne Price.
Public Defender Natalie Case on behalf of Mr. Price, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name?
Yes, Dewan Price.
Today's the date and time set for sentencing. We have had the opportunity to review the assessment as well as probation's recommendation. We are ultimately requesting that the court adopt probation's recommendation. However, we're asking that the court consider allowing Mr. Price to pay the fines and costs on a payment plan. As Your Honor can see, this is an older case from 2008. Since then, I believe Mr. Price has made a lot of changes in his life. He is currently unemployed, but he does care for his children. And to my recollection and belief, he has been completely compliant on bond, and I think he will be compliant on probation. And the court consider either lowering the fines and costs and/or paid on a payment.
Mr. Price, anything you want to say before the court imposes sentence?
Yes, like I said, I made a mistake when I was young. I have a few small kids now that I'm trying, keep them. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get it over and done so I get my driver's license back. It's been almost 18 years since I ain't had a license, so yes, I'm trying to get that.
Okay. Court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, it does believe there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of alcohol education and monitored abstinence from all intoxicants. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and monitor compliance and recommended treatment. It's therefore the sentence of the court that you're placed on probation for a period of 6 months. You're to pay $855 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, and $180 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid?
Well, I'll probably have it paid within 6 months. I get paid once a month, so.
Do you have anything today that you can put toward this?
No, sir.
All right. So when is your first payment on this going to be?
April 1st, $200.
April 1st, $200. And
Yes,
then
sir.
payment plan is arranged by probation. So whatever Ms. Polero tells you and how to pay it, you need to pay it. Understood?
Yes, sir.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete the alcohol highway safety education program. You're to provide proof of victims impact panel attendance to probation. I'll order 93 days in jail, credit 1, balance suspended. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Price.
Court calls case People versus Adam Watkins.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Kyle Burdell on behalf of Mr. Watkins. Mr. Watkins, please say your name. Once you get up here. Oh, sorry. Adam Watkins.
All right. What are we doing on this?
Your Honor, today is the date and time set for pretrial. Prosecutor Siller has extended an offer whereby if Mr. Watkins completes drug treatment as part of the sentencing on another case in Canton, he'll dismiss this case. And he wants to take him up on that offer. So Judge, we would like to be heard as to bond. First of all, we're asking for an adjournment, and then when the court deems it appropriate, we'd like to be heard as to bond.
Well, when is the treatment?
So you've already been sentenced, correct?
Yes.
And you're supposed to start treatment next week?
Before the 16th.
Yes.
The only thing preventing me is this right now. I'd already be there.
Yeah, because of the issues that's involved in that. But where is he going to be doing treatment?
Wayne County.
Okay, that's
what facility?
I'm not sure. I've not been able. I went to court the day before I came see you. So if I can get out there, I'll go to Canton today. And I don't know the facility yet, so Your Honor.
Okay, so we're at the same spot that we were last week. And I put it to today's date so somebody could figure out where he's supposed to do treatment.
Yes, sir.
I'm not opposed to his release regarding treatment, but
the facility. You don't know.
My mother may know. I do not know. I was supposed to contact the probation department in Canton. And I've not been able to do that because I've been here. My goal is to get into rehab and start a new phase of life. I mean, I can't do it. I've not been able to contact the facility. From my understanding, Wayne County has a distribution center. I have to call that number. And once I call that number, they'll find me a bed. I've not been able to do that because I have not got the number yet. As soon as I came to court here in CNU.
Do we have proof that that's even his sentence?
Your Honor, I believe it's on the ROA. I tried to get in touch with his attorney. I wasn't able to, I reached out. I wasn't able to get in contact with the attorney. His mother's here.
I'm sorry, can I interject?
You already have. Go ahead.
Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney. Your Honor, I'm not hearing on behalf of Mr. Watkins because we did conflict out on the case. However, I did contact Mr. Watkins' attorney prior to conflicting out.
His attorney in Canton.
In the 35th District Court, right. He did provide me with the judgment of sentence. It says, and I'll just read the full thing. The defendant shall serve 30 days in jail for failure to pay on time as part of the conditional sentence. Prior to enforcement, the court will determine the defendant's ability to pay. Okay. Other shall be confined to jail for 30 days, jail or complete residential treatment concurrent with, and it references another case. I can provide the full.
Well, okay, but what's that other case then?
That is that's an OWI in controlled substance case, Judge.
Has he been sentenced on that?
That's the case where we're discussing, Judge. That is the sentence for that case.
I'm sorry, no, I'm
no.
Was that a different case?
the sentence for the 35th District possession of paraphernalia. It does say the defendant to report to Washington WCJ, which is
sorry,
Wayne
you're right.
County Jail, Criminal Justice Center on 6/19/2025.
I remember that.
Right.
So all I'm getting from this every time he shows up is there's another case. Because the first time there was that case that you're referring to, because you gave me part of that sentence recommendation, I think last week.
Right.
But now the sentence he has is concurrent with another case.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know anything
was-
about the other case.
I misspoke, Judge. That is his only case out of 35th District that I'm aware of. I misspoke, Judge. I believe that's his only case out of 35th District.
Okay, it's fine. Except that he got sentenced on a case. Part of his sentence is a concurrent sentence with another case. I don't know what that other case is.
I can try to find it.
Judge, I couldn't find any other cases. I'm trying to get in touch with his Canton attorney to try to clear that up. But I didn't see that.
Ask my mother, she has his card.
I can't do that right now. We'll do that after.
So nobody knows about this other case.
Judge, I haven't found any information on it. Mr. Watkins is insisting he doesn't have another case.
I took care of everything.
So, Ms. Perny, the section that you just read said he was sentenced to something concurrent with.
Yeah, the case number is, again, it's Canton, so I don't know how to, out of my realm, but 24C08295B.
That, John, that may be an old ticket.
It does sound like that. I mean,
Yeah, he did.
typically how we case some of our tickets here, but again,
I took care of everything when I was in court, and my understanding.
All right, look, folks, somebody get me some information that that's what's supposed to happen. That's what was supposed. That's why I adjourned it out a week. Put it at an odd time, so you get me information that indeed he is supposed to go into treatment in the manner in which he said, or that there's a specific name of a facility. I'm here a week later. I don't have that.
Yes, and Judge, Was it a dangerous drugs case? Oh, is that a felony?
Oh, wait.
And Judge, for
Yeah.
yeah, Judge, for the record, I was not here at that last one. I was just recently appointed. This is my first pretrial, so thought I was up to date on it, but apparently I need to.
Apparently not.
Yes, apparently not. So you're, I mean, I suppose we could.
What, Barony? Was there anything you wanted to tell me, or? I mean, you closed the computer, but I don't.
Dramatically.
She's mad at you?
No, I said dramatically. She closed.
Oh.
She may be. You know, I wouldn't blame her.
It says the same type of thing, Your Honor. Township of Canton v. Watkins.
Yeah.
Judge Giroux, 6/2025, scheduled to report to jail.
Yeah, that's
Court, it's an ordinance.
Can somebody get in
Misdemeanor.
contact with his attorneys out there, or get in contact with the court out there to let it know, Miss Polera, you have risen. You are probably gonna clear something up for me.
Well, I can tell you, I do see two cases out of the 35th District Court.
Thank you.
One is the possession of drug paraphernalia. The other is possession of dangerous drugs. It does indicate.
So he has another, right.
But you've it's not pending, but you've been sentenced on it?
Yes.
Okay, he has been sentenced on it.
It does reference, Your Honor, the same that he's to report to jail on both of those cases. So I believe that both are exposed.
Got it. But he's supposed to do treatment in lieu of reporting to jail on both of them.
Correct.
So can somebody find out for me where he's supposed to do treatment? He's saying it's a distribution center. I understand what he's saying makes some sense, but nobody seems to be able to verify that for him.
Your Honor, would you like me to reach out to that probation officer? I can.
You know, Miss Polera, that's why I've missed you. Because otherwise what I've had to do is I've had to listen to these two attorneys who told me nothing. Miss Perroni just read to me, which is fine. Nice voice, but still.
I can reach out to that probation officer. Your
All right. So what I will do is I will adjourn it out a week. I may consider, okay, or I don't have to.
Oh, it's okay. He's just eager to get on a treatment, Judge, and a very expressive.
No, he's eager to get out.
It's okay. It's okay. Just,
Did I finish now?
yes, Judge.
I'll adjourn it out a week. What I was then going to say is, if I receive verification of what's being said, I will consider release prior to that date. If he acts that way in my courtroom again, I'm not going to do that.
Thank you, Judge. I will have a talk.
So I will adjourn this out to the 19th. March 19th, 2025. We'll set it at 10 at this point. See what happens.
Thank you, Judge. I'll come
Thank you.
back afterwards.
Court calls the case, People versus Anika Skibb.
Kyle Bedell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ashley Lonnie from People.
Close.
Kyle Bedell on behalf of Ms. Skibb. Ms. Skibb, please introduce yourself to the court.
Annika Skibb.
All right. Where are we?
So as far as the pretrial, Your Honor, we are asking that the matter be set for final settlement conference.
Jury final settlement conference will be set for what? April 11th, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection if necessary, April 14th, 2025 at 8:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Bond will continue.
Thank you. That's it.
Both of those are in. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case of the People versus Judge Jane, I think Martin.
Johnny.
Okay, no, I did that the last time. You were much nicer about correcting me this time, but come on.
Good.
Said it nice this time. The last time it was like I had insulted her whole family. Anyway, go ahead.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Martin. Ms. Martin, please state your name again.
Johnny Martin.
Chris Blair on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Ms. Martin is before the court for a violation of probation hearing. Ms. Martin has been on probation for 2 years for a reduced charge of assault and battery. In this case, Your Honor, Ms. Martin has made no payments to the court. Her balance is $1,530. Probation has failed to receive completion of the CPS Family First Program and Parenting class. Ms. Martin also failed to report to probation after April of 2024. And Your Honor, her probation term is maxed in this case. Given that these items were not completed, probation is recommending that Ms. Martin serve 93 days in jail with credit for 1 day served, that she served the balance, waive remaining terms, accept the financial obligations, and discharge her from probation.
Ms. Perry.
Your Honor, I was able to speak with Ms. Martin about these issues. She believes that she did complete the CPS and parenting class. She's been trying to get in touch with them for the last week or so to get proof of that. She has called the case manager that was on the case. She no longer works there. She gave her another number at CPS. They told her they would call her back. It's kind of been, she's been, thwarted by bureaucracy. So I'm asking to adjourn this hearing out a bit so she can continue working on that. Again, she remembers completing it, but it has
Why
been.
didn't that information get to probation?
Frankly,
Well,
Your Honor,
I can tell you why, because she never reported to probation.
she did. That is the allegation, Your Honor. Around the time that this was all happening, the father of her 2 youngest children was killed in Washtenaw County. And I think she's a single mother. That kind of, greatly affected her life. And she's been dealing with the repercussions of that since that happened in June of 2023. So she wants to get proof to probation. She's just having trouble doing so.
What about payment? I have no payment. I have no reporting to probation. I have nothing.
I just started working out.
She has 5 children?
Yes.
5 children, 11, 8.
11, 9, 8, 3, and 1.
So she, for a long time, didn't have childcare to care for her children and work.
I just started working. I can't make a payment when I get my check.
How come you didn't report to probation?
I don't know. Like I had after my child's father passed away in my apartment complex, I just shut down. It was real hard on me.
I get all that, but I guess the last time you were before the court was in February. You're going to pay the fines and costs by March 3rd. No payments. You would report to probation. No reporting to probation. I'm assuming you were supposed to complete the Family First program and parenting classes. I don't have any proof of any of that.
Yes, I completed it. I went to Orchard's Family, Children and Family Services. I think that's what it's called.
When?
I finished that class in 2023. I just didn't report it.
So you're saying that was completed before I sentenced you?
Yes.
I can try to look to see what the prosecutor's office may have.
What the prosecutor's office may have?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was provided to them to reduce the charge, as this charge did originate as a child.
Anything else from anybody?
Nothing from me, Your Honor.
Ma'am, anything else you want to tell the court?
I would just give me some time to like make the payments. I'm all my kids got, like, I don't really want to go to jail. I'm already have.
Should have been keeping in track with probation.
Right.
You just didn't do anything.
I know that I did the, excuse me, I know I did.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna waive the remaining terms except for financial obligations. I'll discharge her from probation without improvement. What I am gonna order is that she's to serve 93 days in jail. I'll give her credit for the 1 day. She's to serve the balance. I will strongly consider release if I get proof of completion of that class. All right, you're still gonna owe the money. You need to set something up with the court. You're going today, but if they get me proof of that, then I'll consider release. I'm not guaranteeing that I'll release you, but at least I could have something to look at that says you did something.
Okay, can I at least call, can we call the people?
Call which people?
For the,
You can talk to your attorney. We could figure out a way to make the call, but right now you're going. Defendants remanded. Foreman. Court does call the case of the people versus Donald Foreman.
Show cause.
Your name, sir?
Donald Foreman.
You're here on a show cause. How much is it? $610. You're in custody at this point?
Yes, sir.
Is there an expectation as to when you'll get out?
No. I don't have, I got a trial, I think it's April, in like the 22nd or 16th for one, so.
Is it felony or misdemeanor?
Felony.
No, you got a trial set?
Yeah.
You think in April or?
Yeah.
What's my May date? Just give me it. Late May. 14.
Yes, sir.
I'll adjourn this matter May 14th, 2025, 9 a.m. Then we'll figure out where we're going from there. All right, thank you. Court calls the case People versus Michael Kyle.
Public Defender Natalie May on behalf of Mr. Kyle. Your Honor, he's in custody of the Washtenaw County Jail still.
We don't have him as in custody. What's he in custody on?
So I just actually checked in the penalty case he was being held on, shows an ex jail that it's disposed of, but that he's still in there. He does have an out of county hold in Jackson with his bond denied, however, so that might be why he is still in there. That being said, he is there as of a few minutes ago for ex jail.
I'll just adjourn this out to the 26th, March 26th, 2025, 9 a.m. Then we'll figure out. At 1 p.m. That's at 1 p.m. on the 26th.
Of March, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of the People versus Martin Graham.
And the people, Kyle Burdell for, on behalf of Mr. Graham.
Your name, sir?
Martin Graham in the flesh.
All right. What are we doing?
So, Your Honor, today is a date and time set for sentencing. I have reviewed the report with Mr. Graham. The only issue I was going to address was the credit for time served listed. However, I believe Ms. Pilar has updated that at 71 days. So I'm not sure if that's been updated in the court's file, but other than that, no additions, completions, no additions, corrections, or deletions.
Anything either of you want to say before I impose sentence?
Well, yes, I would like to ask for mercy of the court. Do got like a grant program that I'm doing, and then I got other jobs and stuff that I got going on. CMH, I'm with CMH also. I want to try to do rehab outside of the court system and try to get this thing moving forward. I do got some other warrants. If you could give me a personal on this one or something like that, I could go.
Is he held on something else?
He's got a lot of holds.
He's got a
Judge.
lot of
yeah.
On count one, the the sentence of the court, $125 statutory fees, 93 days in jail, credit 71, the balance is to be served. On the attempted resisting and obstructing, $50 statutory fees, 365 days in jail, credit 71, defendant is to serve the balance. I will consider early release upon completion of the Don Farm in jail program. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Court calls the case People versus Chance Stallings.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Stallings, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
My name is Chance Stallings. Good morning, Your Honor.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Stallings is before the court for a violation of probation.
You take your hands out of your pockets. Go ahead.
Mr. Stallings is non-compliant with the terms ordered by this court in that he owes a balance of $1,725. His last payment to this court was made in January of 2024. He failed to provide proof of substance abuse treatment. He failed to provide ongoing proof of mental health treatment. Mr. Stallings, to update the court, did provide me with some documentation, but that was dated in 23. So it's nothing that is updated or a status report that anything continued. He failed to report to probation as directed. He would contact me sporadically throughout the term, but nothing consistent like he was supposed to. Mr. Stallings also has a new pending criminal case of domestic violence and an assault out of Toledo. That alleged date of offense was February 20th of 2024. He failed to appear on that case and is in bench warrant status there. He has matched the 2-year term in this case. Given all the violations before this court on this matter, probation is recommending that Mr. Stallings be remanded to serve 365 days in jail with credit for 77 days served, that he serve the remaining balance, that he complete the in-jail Dawn Farm program, waive remaining terms, accept his financial obligations, and discharge him from probation without improvements.
Response.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have had, of course, the opportunity to review the allegations as well as the recommendation and discuss them with Mr. Stallings. I guess I will just address each one by one. We do acknowledge that there is that balance owing. My client states that he could make the payment in full today. We do also acknowledge that the substance abuse treatment was not completed. However, my client does state to me that he has been on his own attending NA meetings and that he is on a waiting list through his insurance for the mental health to get into the substance abuse treatment program. He relays to me that he's been on a waiting list for almost 2 years. He did provide that documentation from 2023 that Ms. Polero referred to. We do acknowledge that the reporting has been sporadic. Mr. Stallings states to me that during his time on probation, he experienced homelessness for quite some time. So he often didn't have access to a phone, or he didn't have an ID to be able to go to the library and use their computer to try to do the online monthly reports. He does acknowledge, and there's no arguing that, yes, his reporting was very, very sporadic. And he does acknowledge that a lot of it was because of his housing insecurity and homelessness. He does also acknowledge that there is that new case. As of right now, they are just allegations, and he does believe that he will be found not guilty upon the resolution of that case. Ultimately, we're asking that the court, when I do also want to mention, my client also suffers from narcolepsy, and he has been applying and trying to get SSI. We are asking that the court, because we do acknowledge that the probation term here is maxed. I'm asking the court to discharge him from probation without improvement, waive the remaining terms outside of the financial, which he states he could pay the balance in full today, and not impose the jail time, given the fact that he has dealt with some serious housing insecurity and does have a health issue. And in the alternate, if the court was to impose the jail time, I would ask if the court would consider early release upon the completion of that
in jail Dawn Farm program. Outside of that, Your Honor, that would be my request.
Anything you want to say, Mr. Jones?
Your Honor, I had a pretty unbalanced last 2 years. The first year I was pretty decent with reporting and keeping updated with Ms. Valera. Once I fell into homelessness, I really fell off track. I've recently started improving again. I have a job. I work at Speedway. I recently got a tax refund, which is why I'd be able today. Your Honor, the defendant in that case is present in the courtroom, and we're the one that's out of Toledo. We're working on getting it dropped. It's just a really tedious process with the clerk's offices out there. She's trying to contact the prosecutor to set up an. As I said before, I'm just trying to be a better man for my kids, and I understand that I have and take accountability that I haven't been in full compliance with reporting. I've been doing the best that I can, Your Honor, and I'm at your mercy.
Well, there's not a lot else I can do. I will order that he, once remanded, is to complete the in jail Dawn Farm program. I'll consider maybe circumstances of his release at that point in time. I'm going to waive the remaining terms except for financial obligations, discharge him from probation without improvement. I am going to sentence the defendant to 365 days in jail, credit 77 days served. Defendant at this time is to serve the balance. Defendant is. Court does call the case. People versus Shakisha Lee.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Lee, who I believe is on Zoom.
She's not here.
Well, Your Honor, today was
Nice try, though.
probation review hearing. She just owes about $60. She was going to try to pay it before today, but her kids have been sick, so she's been out of work.
She paid everything else except $60.
Correct, yes. I know she's.
I'm you. I'm sorry.
Ms. Lee?
I am here, yes.
Okay, did you pay the 60?
I have not paid that last $60 yet, no.
Really? Why not?
I don't have it at the moment. I was supposed to work over the weekend and I could not.
Because your kids were sick?
They both ran a fever one day after each other. So the 8-year-old, then the 14-year-old. Sorry, she's 15, then the 15-year-old.
And you're tired, you don't even know how old they are.
I do know.
you just forgot. She just forgot.
It
that tells me she's telling me the truth because she don't even know how old the kids are. Miss Lee?
Yes.
How are the kids doing now?
They're both better. My little baby's right here. She's looking at me, trying to figure out who I'm talking to. The older girl, of course.
Say to the judge.
You want to say something to the judge?
Didn't ask for a conversation, but I will. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, you're beautiful. You feeling better?
Yeah. Yeah, she's running.
She said, I am so done with talking to that. All right, that's fine. Here's what I'm going to do. Miss Lee, don't worry about the $60. I'm going to waive the $60. I'm going to dismiss this case pursuant to the prosecutor's deferred discharge from probation with improvement. Miss Lee, you're all set. Take care of your babies. Have a good one.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate you. I promise I'll take care of these girls. Have a good day.
All right. All right. Take care.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Court calls the case. People versus Jack Lyons.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Lyons. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
Teresa Clara on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Lyons is scheduled before the court for rehearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. Mr. Lyons has completed all terms accepting he owes a balance of $420. His last payment was made on February 24th of this year in the amount of $50. Mr. Lyons has had 2 prior extensions due to issues with getting the balance paid. Mr. Lyons has been reporting, he did indicate to me that there has been some issues with the timing of his paychecks getting deposited, which has created some overdraft fees. So he had to make up the overdraft fees, which took the monies which he should be paying. Given that Mr. Lyons has completed the programming components and he has been reporting, there is 2 months left on time where I could ask for another extension, and I would like to do that to give him an opportunity to complete the prosecutor deferred. So the recommendation is to extend the prosecutor deferred sentence for 2 months, that Mr. Lyons make a $170 payment on or before today, then $125 per month thereafter, that he continue all other terms as previously ordered, with a final review hearing being set May 14th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have had the opportunity to read the record.
Mr. Lyons, I need a camera. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I have had the opportunity to review the recommendation, and I know Mr. Lyons has the opportunity to review it. He did call me back again this morning. We were unable to have a full discussion. So I do not know for a fact if he is able to pay that $170 today. I do believe the recommendation is fair and would ultimately be adopting or asking the court to adopt it, but I believe Mr. Lyons would be able to for sure confirm as to the money.
Mr. Lyons, can you pay the 170 today?
I cannot, however, I am able to make a payment.
Okay, how much can you pay today?
50.
Gonna get it.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I know. So when can you get $170 into the court?
Next week.
Pay 170 by the 19th. And then $125 per month thereafter. I'll extend the prosecutor's deferred sentence for a period of 2 months. Continue all other conditions as previously ordered. I'll set a final review hearing May 14th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lyons.
Court calls the case. People versus Kyle Zimmerman.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Zimmerman. Your Honor, Mr. Zimmerman was in custody. As of Monday, his estimated release date was October. However, we just reviewed ex jail and he was released yesterday at 8 p.m. So he's not here. I asked for an adjournment of the hearing so I can get in touch with him.
You don't know where he is?
No.
He was in our jail and got released?
Yeah. Yeah, last night at 8.
Were you there? Or you just...
No, I didn't see.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, how'd you know he got released at 8?
They just say in
No, I know.
Yeah. It's just money, so. It's, the case has been.
You're doing well today. March 26, 2025, 1 p.m. Just money. Court calls the case. People versus Heather Adkins.
Teresa Clare on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Ms. Atkins was scheduled before the court for a final review on a prosecutor deferred sentence. Ms. Atkins did complete all terms ordered by the court, and I did wait for her appearance. Probation is recommending that the court dismiss the case pursuant to the prosecutor deferred and discharged from probation with improvement.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Court does call the case of the people versus Lolita Jones.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Jones, whose appearance has been waived.
Teresa Blair on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Ms. Jones was scheduled before the court for a final review hearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. She did complete all terms ordered by the court. Probation is recommending that the court dismiss the case pursuant to the prosecutor deferred and discharged from probation.
No objection.
So ordered. Court does call the case of the people versus Wayne Minor.
Public Defender Natalie Pate with on behalf of the present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the court?
I have a name. Wayne Minor.
Yes.
State your name.
Wayne Minor.
Okay, what are we doing?
Claire on behalf of probation. Mr. Minor is scheduled before the court for a review hearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. Mr. Minor has completed his parenting class and his CPS recommendations and has been reporting as directed. Mr. Minor has had some issues with the court. He has been in communication with me about his financial status. He had went through a problem with almost losing his home and trying to get that back on track. So I've been trying to work with Mr. Minor as to the monies in the case. Your Honor, this case was a child abuse 4th degree. At that time, I had recommended a 24-month probation term. I do have some room to extend a probation term given the nature of the charge. I would ask that the court at this time extend Mr. Minor's prosecutor deferred sentence for a period of 12 months. I'm asking that he pay $25 on or before today, then $70 per month, and then continue with all other conditions as previously ordered, with a new review hearing date being set March 11th, 2026 at 9 a.m. I'm asking for that length of an extension because he is getting it worked out, trying to keep his home and caring for his children. So he did indicate to me that he has had some interviews and he was hoping that he would be getting employed before the end of this month.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have had the opportunity to discuss this recommendation with Mr. Minor. The opportunity to have an extension to be able to make that payment and payments, and he does state that he can make a $25 payment today. So we ask the court to adopt probation's recommendation.
All right. Okay,
He
Mr.
has made that payment.
He already has made it. Okay.
He looks like he made a $30 payment.
Oh,
So
okay.
his balance is now $695.
Got it. I'll extend the prosecutor's deferred sentence for a period of 12 months. He's to pay, and I'll just indicate, you paid 30, sir?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll just indicate on that he's gonna pay 30 on or before today, which he's done. Then $70 per month thereafter. Continue all other terms and conditions as previously ordered. I'll set the next review hearing March 11th, 2026, 9 a.m. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Michael Pfeiffer.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Pfeiffer. Your Honor, I have not had contact with Mr. Pfeiffer. I'm not sure if he's on the Zoom.
I don't have him. Michael Pfeiffer. Okay.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, given that Mr. Pfeiffer's failed to appear and is non-compliant with the terms ordered by the court, probation's asking for a bench warrant.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $10,000. Cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Raja McCraney.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of, but hopefully with
Matt here.
Your Honor, I do not have my here. I don't believe I had a good phone number for her, but I did send her an email with the link. I would ask for an adjournment of show cause.
The show cause. What's
Yeah,
that?
326.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Mohammed Farah.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of and hopefully with Mr. Farha, who may be present via Zoom.
Mohammed Farah. No response.
Your Honor, I do not have an explanation. Here at the record, I request an adjournment. I did leave a voicemail to the number I have for him, but I do not have an explanation, but would ask for an adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond set the amount of $7,500. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Devontae and Gibson.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson, please state your name for the record.
Devontae Gibson.
Your Honor, I'm asking for an adjournment of the show cause. Mr. Gibson has just started back at work in the last week or so. He's doing detailing of cars at a auto place. He
Good at it? No, go
Yes,
ahead.
probably.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to ask. That's probably irrelevant. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So he's unable to make any payments now. He, as the court knows, he did some time on this case and got out, I believe late last year. Since then, he's been dealing with some medical issues, and that's the reason why he's just getting back to work. So for that reason, we'd be asking for an adjournment.
I'll adjourn it May 14th, 2025, 9 a.m. Mr. Gibson, make some payments in between then so we can try to get this worked out.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Otherwise, I gotta come find you. All right, thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Amaria Hickson.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Hickson. Ms. Hickson, please state your name for the record.
Amaria Hickson.
Your Honor, Ms. Hickson is here for a show cause. I believe that the payment plan that was set up with collections was $60 a month. I did speak with Ms. Hickson and she says she can start that payment plan up again. I believe this was set because she didn't comply, but she is able to do so.
So when is she gonna make that first $60 payment?
Ms. Hickson, I would refer that question to you.
Yeah, I'll start making payments. I'll probably even pay more than the $60 on Friday, and then I'll go on from there. I probably wouldn't even have to do monthly, but I'm gonna try to get it paid.
So you'll pay $60 on the 14th?
Yes, I'll probably pay more. I'll pay $120 on the 14th.
$120. All right, I'm gonna put in here defendant to pay $120 on the 14th. How much is she? Okay. Why does she owe $560? Right, but how much in warrant fees and show cause?
$250.
Oh, okay. So let's do this. You should have been paying, but I'm gonna, well, I'll do this for you because you haven't done what you're supposed to do. But it just seems to me if you're at $560, original fines and costs were $250. You pay $120 on the 14th. If paid, I'll waive, or if paid, waive $120. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
So you said if I pay the $120, you'll waive? Wait, say one more time.
$120. What?
And so you said you're gonna waive $120?
You're not a math major. Here's what I'm gonna do.
No, I can't. I didn't understand what you were saying.
560,
Uh-huh.
right? The
Mhm.
original fine was 250. So I'm
Okay.
telling you right now, that's a lot of charges you added up by not doing what you're supposed to do. So I'm gonna try to give you a break. You pay the 120 on March 14th. If that's paid, I'm gonna waive an additional 120. That'll take 240 off. Man,
okay.
What's it? And then that brings your balance down to, come on, Emily,
320.
320. So that'll bring your balance down to 320.
Okay, I can agree to do that, and I'll get it paid.
You can agree to do that? Really?
Yes, and I'll get it paid because I actually didn't know
I'm trying to help
that I had
somebody
a
out. I
balance.
can agree to that. No, okay, that's fine. And then how are you gonna pay the rest off?
I'll probably just pay it in. I'll probably pay it within the next 2 months. I don't know the specific amount, but I'll get it paid between the next 2 months because I'm trying to get my license back.
Well, I know, but should I put, how much are you gonna pay each month?
120 is fine.
What?
120 is fine to pay.
120. All right. Then 120 per month. Okay, got it. Wow, that was harder than it had to be. All right. You have a good day.
Me too.
Court calls the case. People versus Tizarius Edwards.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with on behalf of Edwards, who should be present via Zoom.
Tizarius Edwards. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
State your name.
Tizarius Edwards.
All right. What are we doing on this? How much does he get? How much? $975.
Your Honor, I wasn't able to have a conversation with Mr. Edwards before this hearing. We have spoke previously, though. He is dealing with some health issues. To my
I remember.
He has been making some payments on this. He's still chipping away. I do understand that $975. Mr. Edwards, do you recall when your last payment made to the court was?
I owe $975.
Yeah.
My last payment probably was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm not sure, honestly.
You're
But
still dealing with those. You're still dealing with those health concerns you had.
Yeah, but I got cleared to go back to work. I started my new job today, so I'm actually at work right now.
Okay, so hold on. Just stay with me, Mr. Edwards. So you got cleared. You just started back to work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Let me just adjourn this out. How much does he owe? 2,000. You owe 2,795.
So the AIS it said that balance due all counts, then it also said 975 at the top. When I scrolled down, and again, I'm also not a math major, I think that the 975 might be correct based on the payments made, but I could be wrong.
I think there's multiple counts. You gotta
Oh, there are multiple counts. Okay. So you owe about 27.95. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Edwards, since you just got back to work. Let me adjourn this out to May 14th.
Yes.
To May 14th, 2025. Try to make some payments in there, and then let's see where you are, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.